Okay, it's Wednesday, August 17th, 2022. It's 4:05, and we're going to start the Town of Sangerville Board of Selectmen meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item 2, approval of the minutes, Select Board meeting 8/3/2022.
Make a motion to approve that.
Second.
All in favor? We're all three in favor. Review of treasurer's warrants, payroll 67, 69, accounts payable 66 and 68.
Make a motion to approve A and B is read.
Second.
All in favor? We're all three in favor. Open session, we have a guest. Would you like to speak?
Yes, thank you. My name is Nancy Honeychuck. I live on East Sangerville Road. I've lived there since 2019. And I have a concern about a somewhat relatively recent occurrence of very heavy dump truck and crushed stone truck traffic on our road. It starts very early in the morning. It started this morning, which isn't unusual, at 5:45. It ends somewhere between 4 and 7. This is just a little narrow kind of a farm lane, really, that was paved shortly before I moved in there, then had to be redone again last year because the road had broken down. I understand they hadn't completely finished it, but it had really broken down by that time in just a few years, 2 or 3 years, and had a lot of potholes. I have been told that until it was paved, there was almost never much dump truck traffic there. And since they put on the top coat last year, it has been every weekday, roughly every 10 minutes, trucks rumbling past. I have several concerns about this. One, it's ruining the sense of safety and good quality of life for people who live along that road. We have kids. I don't have kids, but my neighbors have kids that go out on their little bicycles, and there's a lady down the road who walks with a cane, who walks her ancient Pomeranian on that road, and I've seen these trucks blow right past these people, and the kids wobbling on their bikes, and the trucks don't slow down. That's one concern, safety and quality of life. I also work from home. I'm a nurse practitioner. I do telehealth for United Health's LHI Optum branch, and I interface with the military. So I'm doing telehealth for military members all over the world. And there are many, many instances recently where I can't hear what they're saying, they can't hear what I'm saying, and we have perfectly good connection. There's nothing wrong with the connection. It's the trucks going by that shake the house. And this is wrecking my ability to earn my living. It's also very embarrassing for the service members if they're in a barracks somewhere on a base and they have to talk louder and all their colleagues hear about maybe some embarrassing health problem they have. So I have concerns about that. And the third, or maybe this is 3.5 or 4 by now, concern that I have is that I have been really wondering, do I have to sell my house and move again? It's that miserific. I feel as if I may have to sell my house and move after I just moved here. And I came back to Maine. I partly grew up in Maine. We had very good family friends, really kind of godparents, really, in Ellsworth, and my brother and I spent a lot of time in Maine growing up, visiting with them. So I've been, after doing schooling elsewhere, and I grew up on a little farm in Pennsylvania, which was way out in the sticks then. That's where my father's roots were, although my mother has New England roots. And I thought, I'll go work these different places, and I'll get education different places, because it'll be interesting. I haven't been all these other places. But I want to go back to Maine eventually. So I finally got back to Maine, and I thought, I found the right place. And it's lovely, and then this happened, And now, thinking I may have to sell my house, when I looked at this house, and I came up several times before I took a job up here, because the first job was just on the eve of COVID, and I was working for the Dr. Reddy's old clinic, which had been bought by the Mayo Hospital, and they wanted me in that clinic. They have since closed it, which is why I looked for a job other than that, and was lucky to get United Health Group. But, you know, if I do have to sell my house, and I don't want to, this is agonizing for me, really. It's just, it rips me in half to think I have to sell my house so I can have peace and quiet. But if I did have to, there's an additional problem here. I won't be able to sell this house. I won't get out of it what I put into it, because who's going to buy it with all these dump trucks going past every 10 minutes? Many concerns.
I think there's a little misunderstanding that we have some jurisdiction when it comes to roads and traffic. We don't. If a road was, for example, closed to truck traffic, that would be a local ordinance, and there would be a reason for us to get involved. That road isn't. I know of 2 gravel pits that are accessed from that road.
Too very large.
One is enormous.
Oh, yes, they've always been.
But they didn't used to use
Well,
that road
that's up
so
to them
much.
though. They own the pit. They might not use it for 3 or 4 years.
And
They
they
might.
speed on this road.
That, again though, that's not our jurisdiction. That would be the county.
Right.
Is it?
So and I live on a very similar road. I live on the French's Mills Road. And it has changed markedly over there in the last few weeks. We have new residents. In fact, they don't have electricity. They run a generator 24/7. It's their right to do it, but it's quite annoying to the people in the neighborhood. But
Is it wrecking your ability to do your job?
whether it was or it wasn't, it wouldn't be the jurisdiction of this select board to get involved in it.
So how do I approach this? I'd like to make a good try before I have to go lie to people and say, only show the house on the weekends. Because I don't know what else to do.
It's the Department of Transportation that sets
Okay.
that. speed
So
limit.
how-
Well, if people are speeding or whatever, you can call right down to the sheriff's department.
I have talked to the sheriff. He says, well, we need to have something posted there. You'll have to talk to the county office about that.
Something
Something
posted
posted.
would be,
Well, there's no speed limit posted on our
Oh.
road, and there's no weight limit posted
I think
on it either.
main law is if it's not posted, it's
45.
45 miles an hour.
Yeah.
It
So if
seems
they're exceeding
very-
45, he can summons them.
Okay, but I think that's a high speed limit for this little road with kids on it.
That's
Could be,
all
but-
county roads are 45.
They're all 45. But whether there's 45 or the enforcement would be them, not, we don't have any law enforcement in the town of Sangerville.
So it would be Department of Transportation who could post a weight limit or a speed limit? or
We could set
something like that?
a weight limit on that road.
Why can't we do that then?
Well, because that would be an ordinance, we'd have to we'd be, putting an encumbrance on on property. Like I said, there's one huge gravel pit over there, there's another one that's smaller.
And they all use that road to.
They
that's-
certainly
they're
can,
But they
yeah.
didn't used to, not until it
Well, the
really
road was
increased after they put the black top on
Yeah.
top.
Hey,
Haley's
Well,
has used that pit forever.
It's the
That's
only
their
way,
main
most
pit.
of them, that's the only access they have is to those gravel pits are through East Sangerville.
No, I didn't believe so, actually. I'm quite a hiker, and I've been around those gravel pits, and there are several ways in and out with roads that are gravel roads that they grade, and they go out to Route 7. and-
Right, but when you go over there, you're on somebody else's
I would
property.
say those aren't all,
No, it's
even
not
though
the
the
same-
pits
it's
look
not
like
the
they're
same
attached, they're not exactly right.
Yeah, but there are,
But it's private
all of them
roads.
seem to have roads that go out, and that, I've seen the trucks go out that way too.
They have a right to use the road.
Even though it's wrecking my property value,
I
wrecking my.
know it's annoying,
It's
we
not-
have logging
no,
trucks.
It's much worse than annoying.
We have logging trucks now, I don't know why all of a sudden, but I've got logging trucks going, and they are going well above 45 miles an hour.
Yes, and I think these trucks are too.
So, I haven't called the sheriff's department on them, but at times I'm tempted.
Do you think somebody's, logging their tree growth and
I
then
think what's happened for us on the French's Mills Road is we've become kind of a
Throughway.
shortcut, a throughway up to the chip mill in Howland and Lincoln.
Oh, wow.
So it's just easy, if you're,
Well, with the price of fuel, they're looking for every
Oh,
mile they
sure.
can save.
Yeah, that's.
Dump
And-
trucks are included, I mean.
and harvesting changes, if you're harvesting an area, west of Parkman, all of a sudden, that's a nice short way to get up to that
Yep.
area, so, but lately, it's just
So-
like every hour.
Posting an ordinance is up to whom? Or
We-
doing an ordinance? I've never been involved in anything like this before.
Well,
so I
if we
don't know what
decided
to
to
do.
set, for example, if we decided to close a road to truck traffic, period, we could do that. But it's not just as simple as flicking a switch. We'd take it to the town, we'd have to have public meetings, they vote on it.
Well, if that's the way that it works, then I would so much like to know what else.
For
I can
example,
do.
there is a petition process.
Okay.
It's
Yep.
well within your right to start a petition to close that road to truck traffic.
Well, how do I do that? Just write something and walk around with it to
Yeah,
get signatures?
pretty much that's it. There's a
They
format
tried
to
in
it, but
2006.
Lorna could help you
Well, I need some help
structure
with
it.
Because I really don't know how to do this, and I do work 40 hours a week in order to
It's
live
a-
where my
it's a-
property values are now declining and I'm having trouble with
I
it.
can tell you that the petitioning process is pretty onerous, and we've had people to go through all the work, get all your signatures the way they're supposed to be, and it comes to before the town, and it doesn't pass. And so you're back to zero, and you've done all that work for nothing. Just,
Because they
warning.
do, this is, before this blacktop was put on, you did not see very many trucks on the road, not like it is now. So obviously, they do have other ways in and out of there.
well, I think you're assuming that maybe the demand for gravel hasn't gone up. I know that in terms of finding people to do work, it's much harder now than it was just 24 months ago. Because there's so much demand for dirt work and that sort of material. So maybe a gravel pit that wasn't viable 2 years ago is now really valuable.
Well, I think there were trucks, but there weren't so many.
That's,
Well,
that
and it
would
may be
explain
a
it.
big job that's going on this summer. You know,
Correct.
It could be a big, huge,
I'm seeing logging that I haven't seen in years, this big mess on 23 down
yeah.
here. So it changes, I mean, the person across the street would say, well, they haven't logged there in 10 years. Well, yeah, that's true, but they're logging there this year.
Well, people have trees and tree growth and they thin things every so often.
Well, this isn't thinning, this is major harvesting.
big time harvest.
Oh, there's mud in the middle of the road down there because of this rain, he's just dragging,
Well,
23 is
thanks.
covered.
Really?
Wow.
Oh,
I don't feel very hopeful about this, and I don't know what I'm going to have to do, but I suppose I'll have to move, and I don't want to. At 70 years old, with a few more years left to work, I don't really want to move again. I moved. I've been trying to get back to Maine for a long time, and I finally did, and I moved here 2019, and I don't want to have to move again, but it looks like I'm going to have to.
And the truck traffic may change. I mean,
No question, if
You
all of
know.
a sudden building slows down and dirt work slows down, you're gonna have less traffic, but if
but
that,
right now,
right now, it's all hands on deck.
I know DOT, the way trucks, those are in Guilford weekly. So I mean, DOT's in the area, so if there is any trucks, I'm kinda surprised if there's dump trucks in our area right now that are overloaded. Because
I don't know if
they're
overloaded.
always,
They're certainly heavy and very, very noisy. I mean, when I sit in my little home office, I can't hear people who are talking to me on the phone. And they can't hear me.
I have a headset,
I
it
have
works
a
for
head-
me.
I have a headset.
Well, mine's
too.
noise canceling, so
Oh,
I'm
there you
cheating
go.
on
I
it too.
have what the military gave me, I'm all hardwired.
Yeah, but
wow.
mine works.
And I have security clearance, and it's all, that's the way it is, but this is really noisy.
I hear you, no pun
Well,
intended, but,
Yeah.
And, and on my days off, I might like to sleep until 7, but you can't even do that. But, all right, so I have to go, I just want to be clear, I have to go see somebody where? Where do I go?
for which piece? You can deal with the sheriff's department as
I
far as,
already have, and he
Yep.
told me, he sent me to you.
no, then he's inaccurate, but you can go to the Department of Transportation, you can call them. That's where, as far as way wagons or whatever, if you think people are overloaded
I
and.
don't know if they're overloaded, I
Okay.
just know that it's a lot of heavy truck traffic that makes a lot of noise.
Call
regarding
them
the
on, they
nuisance
say, I'll give you a
aspect,
number.
Okay.
Okay.
regarding the nuisance aspect, I don't believe there's anyone to go to. The fact that it's annoying, I don't think there's anyone to go to.
I will never get out of this house what I paid for it.
I wouldn't, this market right now is every house is selling for far more
Yeah,
than
but
they're
then I
worth.
have to have a place to go too.
Mm.
This is not, we all know
Mm-hmm.
of those stories of people who said, what, you're gonna give me 3 times what I paid for? Then they don't have a place to go. And I have
Mm-hmm.
animals that I brought with me. I have a little farm there. And I have to have a place to take my little family. So, well, all right, I don't know. If anybody thinks of something, if you're, on my side in any way, it sounds like you have some empathy for me.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about, but I also understand that I don't have any, I can't tell the logging trucks not to go by my house.
Well,
They're very annoying, but
posting a weight limit, so that's up to,
if we have a road that isn't engineered to a level where it could withstand certain types of traffic, we have a right to protect that investment, okay?
I don't think this road is. I suspect that taxes are gonna go up because we're gonna have to pay to repave it again in an unusually short amount of time.
We paid that, to a higher level than it had ever been previously paved, in
Well, it's not
terms.
saying much because it was a dirt road before that, right? It was. I was through there
No,
once before I
we
ever
didn't
walked
switch anything that was gravel over to pavement,
No, it
but
was all paved.
it was all, it was,
It had been just paved just before I moved in. And
Right, but-
there was a dirt road there before that.
Or maybe it had been ground, had we just,
Must have been
No.
ground, it's always
Yeah.
been
No.
paved.
yeah, because it's always been a paved road,
Yeah.
since
But-
we've been aboard.
But historically, what Sangerville has done is minimalist in paving, maybe a half to 3/4 of an inch. We're not doing that anymore. We feel like if we're gonna spend the money, we might as well make it, because the paving is kind of an exponential, investment. If you add a third, you more than double your life, that kind of thing, so that's what we've done over there. I suspect, I hope, this will hold up better than previously, because
It's like
we
an
built it a little better.
industrial corridor. I imagine it's going to really break down fast at this time. I mean, every 10 minutes, I've timed it.
Yeah, no, I'm sure that they're selling a lot of gravel.
That's-
Anything else?
No, that was it. I thought, that maybe there was an answer here, and I was hoping there was.
No, we just don't have any jurisdiction on that kind of thing. It's just not,
DOT has jurisdiction.
again, just my opinion, regarding the nuisance aspect, I don't think there's anyone really to go to.
Safety, I mean,
That's
there's
speeding,
then,
the
yes.
speeding, you definitely would go to the
Speeding.
county sheriff on that.
Speeding and
Yeah.
weight, and if
Speeding
the
and
trucks are
weight.
safe,
Right.
Yep, yep.
that's the only aspects there are.
Wow. Oh, okay. It just, I'm laughing, I guess, so that I won't cry. Because I have cried about this. It's like, I can't live here, I can't live here, I can't live with this anymore, I can't live with it. It's just kind of wrong. I guess I'll leave because I've got to do barn chores and I probably have to start looking on the internet and find some places, and I'll have to wait until rates are more favorable and balanced, I think, because I need to find a place I can live too. And I don't know where I'll go. I used to work for the Mayo Clinic in Minnesota. I went there for a while after I worked for the Indian Health Service out in Arizona. And I took the job with Mayo because it was halfway to Maine, because I was thinking I wanted to come back to Maine after spending time in the desert. But, Minnesota isn't like Maine. I spent 8 years there, and I said, finally, I've got to go to Maine, and I got this position with, oddly enough, another Mayo, a different Mayo. And it seemed like great, an area of need. I can take all my skills with me, and and I found just the right spot. And I packed up my horses and my dogs and even my cats and my chickens, and I brought them here, halfway across the continent, because what I saw when I came several times to look at the house before deciding to buy it was a quiet, peaceful place. It was, I thought perfect for us. And it's not anymore. I mean, it's well beyond quiet and peaceful. It's every 5 minutes, it's like an industrial corridor. It's not.
Well, hopefully it works out for you, but there's not really anything that we can do, so. I'm gonna move on to our next
Yes.
item, and
All right.
thanks for coming.
Thank you for coming
Yeah,
in.
well, thank you.
Item 5, old business, and we have a new lease
Right.
on our new property, 93 Main Street.
And I sent it to all of you for review.
Yeah,
It's
I was-
rather long.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
we went
God.
from a postcard to what, 4 pages?
He had a friend that prepared it, so,
He was an overachiever.
yes.
Yeah, there you go.
It looked fine.
Yeah.
I mean, it was, all the language looks fine. I'm not sure that we need to sign it.
Yeah, I didn't know if you needed to sign it because we're entering into, 6
No,
months.
you have
and-
the authority to
okay.
do that.
All right, that's
So,
all I need to
I
know.
think you're good. How's things coming along?
Well, we were just, went down there and just trying to figure out how the customer will come into because you're coming into one space.
Right.
And how we're gonna
How
set
are you
it
gonna
up.
make it flow?
How you're gonna make it flow for the customer. I mean, we've kind of figured out where everything should go, but it's just, the counter and how to keep everyone at the front of the building without them wanting to go
Right.
through the whole
Yep, yep.
800.
Yeah, basically you want them to come in,
Yeah.
be
and
serviced,
and
and
leave.
turn around
Right,
and leave. Yeah.
right.
Dale, you don't have any more screens or any
I can
access?
look, I didn't look yet.
Okay, so that may be
Yeah.
One thing that occurred to me is a handicap parking slot.
oh,
He is gonna be putting he's been approved to have 2 spaces out front,
Yep.
so we could probably ask for one of those to be handicapped.
Yeah, now will the state come and mark it for us?
He's gonna have someone mark it. He's been approved by the state, by DOT to have
But,
the
but
2.
with handicap status,
Yeah, I will check,
Okay.
I'll call
because
him.
we should, I mean, there's
We
plenty
need
of
to-
parking down the street that a lot of people would use if they couldn't,
But we do need to have
but we
one
need to
there.
have probably one of those right out front.
Yeah,
and what about that lot? Is that his lot, right next door to the building?
yes,
Yes.
that's
Do
all
we,
this,
do we
yes.
have any, I mean, theoretically, you're gonna have 2 cars that are taking up.
And
Right.
he has 2 tenants,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so that, we
Oh,
could
that's
fill
filled.
that
That's
Yeah.
filled.
just with people in the building,
We'll
depending on.
probably
who's
park on the side next to Kimball's until winter when the snow falls, so I mean, yeah.
He's not gonna wanna, I'm guessing he's not gonna wanna give a permanent, if he puts a handicap parking in that private property, I'm not even sure he can do that. He probably can, but anyway, he's probably not gonna wanna do it.
I would think right up front would be the best.
Well, out front, one of the 2 out front makes the most sense. The other side of the street, there is no parking,
No.
but I noticed that there's someone parked on the sidewalk, a little blue.
Yeah,
all the time.
yeah, they do that quite frequently.
Not supposed to.
And if it were a handicap spot, it would have to have a ramp, no curb.
Well, there is, that is,
There is a ramp,
if
it's
we
all
put
in
it
place?
before Kimball's, the sidewalk is,
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
will
Yeah, it
accommodate
would work.
a
Yes,
wheelchair.
it would.
Oh, perfect.
It is the logical spot.
Okay,
It's just there's, everybody, we don't have too many spots where you're gonna be able to get out of the car and go in.
Right, right.
But I don't think we have much choice.
So yeah, it's just figuring out how to set up the building. We've got the movers all, they're coming on the Monday. We've got the copier company moving the copier,
that's good.
yeah.
And I saw your signage, and that's good. It's very clear. Did you see it on the door?
Yes.
Yep,
Yeah,
yeah, and
very, very-
I saw it on the website, on the Facebook.
We talk to every person that comes in this building to let them know
Sure.
about the move. And it's on all our meetings, so.
Right.
Yeah,
But we're letting people know.
But, and you did throw a question out to us with whether we thought that it should be in a paper or something like
Well,
that. And
I didn't know if maybe you guys wanted to write up a little statement, no, just put it on the website.
Oh,
Not to put
oh.
out, yeah.
I'm wondering if you called Diane and said, hey, you got
I
hot
already- I've
news for
already-
you.
I've already talked to her.
Does she wanna run a story on it? I mean, she's gotten involved in town business before. But anyway, if,
Yeah, I've already called her,
I
let her
wouldn't
know
worry
about the
about
move and.
yeah, I'm not, I just thought it just news,
Right.
they might wanna cover it.
I mean, you wanna do something, post it up at the store, Robinson's.
Well, that's what we're
post
gonna do, we're
up
gonna
at the
post it at the
office.
2 stores and the post office as well. And I've already talked to BMV about closing for the week, so we're all set. We're all
Okay.
set for
having
that.
plenty of notice and all that.
Are we approved for a voting site?
That's one thing I'm waiting on.
Okay.
I sent it last week of July, she's on vacation this week, so it won't be approved until next week.
Alright.
So I don't wanna, I
Yeah,
mean.
Right,
I did remind him it's really our only alternative,
yeah,
because we can't use this building.
yeah, I mean,
Well,
whatever we
worst
need.
case scenario, if that gets denied, we could pull the trucks and make them
Yeah.
go over there. If we have to, not what we want to do.
If we have to, correct.
'Cause we have
I don't
ordered in
see,
there.
yeah, I don't see that being denied, it's just
I
gonna be
can't
another week.
imagine.
Me neither.
So.
Okay, that's all good, good job, that's a lot of
Yeah,
moving
yeah,
parts.
that's, it is a lot of.
I think you'll be happy with Fox and Ginn. I mean, I've used them twice here and they really did a
Yeah,
great job.
yeah, and you know, we're gonna take as minimal as we can,
Yeah,
just everything that we can function.
but put them to work, I mean,
Oh,
because
yeah.
this heavy
Oh, yeah,
stuff.
all the file cabinets,
Yeah.
all that, yeah.
They're-
And they
they
can
know
move
what
it
they're
without
doing.
emptying them,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
that's
know
good.
they're
Yeah.
really good.
They'll have 3 guys here, and they said about 3 hours.
Oh, that's good.
Good. What, anything else? I
We got
can't
the
think.
phone company, we got the.
Internet.
Yeah, got the computer guy coming.
You get the internet set up, so it's still free.
I will have it set up so it's still free.
Good.
Okay.
New business, none. Town manager report,
Culverts were delivered, so.
the concrete
The
ones.
concrete ones have been delivered. There's one more small delivery coming in 2 weeks, which is a few smaller ones, because they met the weight limits. But they're all here, and Chris is hoping to start Friday on the place
Good.
of culverts, so,
Wow.
yeah.
The ditching is impressive.
Yeah, he
Is
did a
it?
great job.
Yeah,
with
I've
the
driven by a
ditching.
couple times
Yeah.
and he uses a dozer for a lot of it, doesn't he?
He's done a good job.
Really,
Wow.
yeah.
Just concerned we're gonna get it all done.
Yeah, this time next month, it's gonna feel like fall. Anything else?
No,
Road commissioners report? None. Select board concerns?
Not really concerned, and I really try to behave myself and not post anything on town, about town stuff on Facebook. But somebody put a little comment on our sign post last night, about the town. There was questions of why we were moving, not getting in names or what was said, but basically it ended up that somebody put a comment about there about how the town's not very transparent, or wish we was more transparent. So I took it upon myself to let them know that all of our meetings are posted, they're public, and they're all recorded, and all the recordings are online. So I don't think we can get any more transparent than that.
Right.
So,
Where was the comment put?
Facebook.
Oh, it's on
Facebook.
Facebook.
yeah. So it's very easy for everybody to like to say things like that, when the
Sure.
reality is we don't get any
It's
more
just so
open than
typical.
what we are.
And the other thing I noticed is, and I thought this is also typical in my opinion, when you share, oh, by the way, actually, we're very transparent, and you give all the reasons why, you don't get a response that
That's correct.
says, oh, wow, thanks for letting me know
Yeah.
that, I didn't realize.
Yeah.
Good job,
Yeah.
but nothing,
No.
Yeah.
crickets. So I don't understand that. Anyway, anything else?
No?
No, I mean, this woman did call me on the phone, and I had this same, the whole same story from her. And, so,
It reminds me a little bit of the snow fence lady, remember that?
yes.
I mean, I feel bad for the lady, and,
Yes.
and I feel exactly what she's talking about, because, I mean, I grew up in Sangerville, know the area very well. When I had the opportunity to buy our house, I grabbed it. I stayed in our house 2 weeks and wished I never bought it. And even being in this area, knowing how much traffic is on Silver's Mills, you have no respect for how much traffic there is until you live across from that boat landing. And you see how many cars are back and forth on Silver's Mills and in and out of all those.
The
spots.
Silver's Mills Thruway
It's-
from 7 to 23 is
It's
unbelievable.
Is that
unbelievable.
right?
Oh, it's how everybody goes to Bangor.
Yeah.
But I mean, and
nuts.
honestly, that's what I was thinking the whole time she's saying that. It's like, yeah, I know just what you're saying. My kitchen window is, what, 15 feet off from the road? I mean, I hear every car all the time, and
We-
it's not what I thought when I bought my
Right,
place, but.
right.
Our road was just the way she described it. I mean, my mother walks, my wife walks, it's just
Everyone
quiet, and a month ago, we had 3 mobile homes come in, and I got kids with dirt bikes popping wheelies in front of my driveway going back and forth all day long. And do I
Are they
like
the
it?
ones with the
No.
generator?
Yep. I don't like it.
No.
but There's not much I can do about
Right,
it.
right.
I am not moving.
No.
I make a motion, we adjourn?
Sorry.
Second?
Okay, it's, what is it here, 4:35, we are adjourned.